like, I thought you just told me that you was in a relationship. And I'm like, I thought I was too, but I'm not. Like, I'm not. You've seen the title of the video. Your girl is back in another story time. If you new my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title, this is going to be my breakup story time. And y'all, I can't even take me serious because this is not like the typical sad breakup story time. But y'all, before we get into this video, I do have to shout today's sponsor out. Shout out to Anita's Home. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what I got. Christmas came early this year, and we're gonna jump back into it. Yita Home is an online furniture store that sell all sorts of appliances and furniture. Y'all already know I had to deck my patio out, so I went with this oversized wicker chair. This chair was huge, y'all. At first, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to fit in this chair, but y'all, this chair was everything. It literally had so many pieces, but the directions was very easy. I'm a type of girl that get lost on step 4, but y'all, I put this whole chair together in under an hour. It was very stable, and it's designed for all weather. You can put this inside your house, you can put this on your patio, you can put this in snow or rain. Baby, it's going to last. It was constructed very well. It's meant to survive in all different elements, and it was easy to assemble. You can also take the cushions off of this and throw this in the washer, so it is outside safe and friendly. I decided that I wanted to put this on my patio, and y'all, this my little morning chair. Me and my man wake up and we have our coffee out on the patio with this chair, and both of us can fit in this. And I'm not a light girl. All 170 pounds of me can fit on this chair comfortably, y'all, and we be laid out on this chair. The second item that I got from Yita Home was this vanity. They upgraded your girl vanity, and I love it, y'all. It comes with 3 different modes, and I honestly, I didn't even know it came with 3 different modes. And then when I got it, I started touching it, and I was like, like, I love it. You also can decide how bright or how dim you want the light by just holding it. This is a very high-tech vanity, y'all. They really upgraded your girl. They also offer this vanity in the color white, but I opt out for black. It did also come with a stool, and it has the anti-tip design. The cushion of this stool was very soft, and look at the dresses, y'all. They went in so easy, so sleek. It's not too big, but it's big enough. Also, y'all, they offer 3 different drawers, 3 on the side and 1 in the middle. So I plan on putting my hair supplies, my dryers, and my combs, and just additional makeup in those drawers. I do want to show y'all a close-up of the drawers. I love this gold handle and touch it has to it. Like, y'all, it's just, I love this vanity. Also, I do want to show y'all the cushion. Look how nice and y'all see what it's doing. You can easily just tuck the vanity chair underneath, and this is my favorite part, y'all. I can plug in my flat iron and my blow dryer at the same time, and my phone. Like, what vanity does that? I love this vanity. If y'all are interested in any of the pieces that I shown today, make sure y'all check them out and use my discount code. It's Asia in all caps for 20% off anything on their website. Y'all, wasn't this stuff cute? Thank you so much for Yita Home for sponsoring that portion of today's video. Now, y'all, let's go ahead and get to this video. And honestly, I think this story time should be named How I Had a Dramatic Breakup, y'all. This was the most dramatic breakup I ever had, and it was honestly because of me. Like, I'm just a dramatic individual. And before we get into the story time, I do have one disclaimer, because I notice anytime I do dating story times, y'all always project. Not y'all as in my girls, but the people, the newbies that be watching my videos, they be like, Aisha, who do you think you are? And I'm like, I'm that girl. What do you mean? Like, anytime I tell y'all what I value in a man in the story time, I always feel like I get a certain group of women in my comment section saying that I shouldn't want a man to provide for me. I shouldn't be looking for this, that, and that in a man. And a little disclaimer, I do not mean to offend anybody, but if I mention something in a story time on my dating preference, it's just my dating preference. Like, I'm not putting that on you. So you don't have to project the day days and the QQs that you be dating onto me. We good. We good. Okay, y'all, so boom. I met this individual. I want to say, I met this man back all the way in high school. I had a crush on this man in high school. And we're going to go ahead and give him a name. Y'all, Christmas is tomorrow, so we're going to call him Santa. So I had a crush on Santa back in high school, but he was 2 grades older than me. So he wasn't really like, checking for your girl. Or I thought he wasn't checking for me. Because like I said, I was just like in high school, I didn't really have my glow up yet. I honestly did not get cute until I was like maybe senior year, getting ready to graduate. Personally, I didn't think I wasn't physically, I wasn't there yet. I had to like grow into my looks, y'all. My head was super big, my teeth were real big, like it wasn't giving yet. So boom, I had a crush on him, I want to say like in the 8th or the 9th grade, because he used to live in my same neighborhood. We're from the same area, but at that time, y'all, I was not on his radar, or I thought I wasn't on his radar. Fast forward to me being in college. Around this time, I was always like, y'all, I'm a girlfriend type of girl. Like, I'm always in a relationship. So I was dating some guy at this time, and I probably did a story time on him before. But anyway, I'm dating this guy at the time, and this is when everyone was using Snapchat. Like, I was on Snapchat heavy at this time, and I remember Santa popped up in my Snapchat DMs, and he was just like some hard eyes. And like I said, I was in a relationship at this time, so I really couldn't acknowledge it like I wanted to acknowledge it. So I seen the message, I replied and said thank you, and I just left it at that. But that was the first day I found out that Santa even knew I existed. Because honestly, y'all, I don't even know how I got this man on Snapchat. I don't even know how he even knew to DM me, because at this time you had to like add people back on Snapchat. I guess I was just adding everybody, and he just ended up on my Snapchat, y'all. But anywho, he's on my Snapchat. Me and the lowdown guy I was dating at that point, me and him, we end up breaking up. And I don't know what it is, but men know when you're no longer in a relationship anymore. Like, I'm not even one of those girls. You know how girls, when they get freshly out of a relationship, they be posting like the little sad little tweets like single again. Like, I don't even do too much. I never posted I'm single. Like, I've never announced a breakup before. But Santa just had to know your girl was single. I don't know if I had like a single glow, like a F and F free glow, but y'all, he knew I was single. Like, soon as I posted a picture, it was like, I remember right after my breakup, I had posted a picture, because I had went, y'all, when I'm going through a breakup, I'm usually like, I be outside with the speaker, brain, like my heart be broke. Like, when I go through a breakup, I really try to like, really sit in my feelings. So I had probably sat in my feelings for like a good month. Then I was off that man, and I was on to the next. And I remember I had posted this selfie. I'm gonna post it right here. I posted this, I think, I want to say back in like, it has to be like 2018 or 2019. I'll put the date on the screen, y'all. So I posted this picture. He swiped up again, and he just complimented me, and he told me I look very, very good. And at this time, I'm single now, so so we going back and forth in the DMs, and I'm writing him, and I think we just doing a lot of small talk, and he ends up asking me, like he basically tells me that he knew I was single, and he said he wanted to talk to me for a while. And I was shook, because like I said, I had a crush on this man in high school, but we just couldn't date because I felt like, I don't know, y'all, just because he was 2 grades older than me, and he had mutual friends with my older brother, and they would all hang out around each other, I just felt like me and this man, like, it wouldn't be possible. So me and him are conversing in the Snapchat for a few months. And when I say a few months, we were talking on Snapchat heavy for a few months, and I wasn't really seriously dating anybody around this point. Fast forward to probably like a month or 2 of us talking on Snapchat, he tells me that I should come to Orlando. At this time, he had just graduated from UCF, and I was sophomore going on to my junior year in college, y'all. And I ain't gonna hold you, I did not have my stuff together at this time. So I was just like, all right, Asia, like, what do you have to lose? Like, at this time, it was very much giving a sassy man apocalypse. And even to this day, y'all, we going through a sassy man apocalypse where men do not want to take women out. They do not know how to court. They just want to like pull up at the house. Like, it was just not giving at this time in Tallahassee, Florida. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a date with this man. And y'all, this is so embarrassing to even admit, but I got on the bus for this man. I took a 5-hour bus. It was like the Greyhound, or was it a Flix? I don't know, y'all. It was one of them charter buses. I got on a charter bus, and I got on a bus and I went to Orlando to visit this man. And when I got there, it was like laid the hell out. When I say everything was nice, like he courted me very, very well. Like our first date, we went to, I want to say, where did we go? We went to Disney. Our first date was at Disney, but oddly, like the chemistry, like you know how like when you first meet somebody and you be having that bubble gut feeling like your stomach be hurting, like I didn't get all the giggles and I didn't get that, have that stage with him. So I'm just like, all right, this is gonna be our last date. Like I'm never gonna see this man again. It was a nice little Disney trip or whatever, but I'm not gonna see this man again. But lo and behold, y'all, I think the next weekend he ended up paying for me to come out there again. And our second date was I think, where did we go? It was Universal, y'all. Like the second date was Universal, and he just kept taking me on all these really nice dates. And when I would go there, it was a weekend on a house, and that means everything was paid for. Like he would pay for everything, and I was just well taken care of when I was in his presence. Like everything was going very, very well. And like I said, like we didn't have, our personalities were opposite, but I kept telling myself at this time, I'm like, all right, you know, opposites attract. Like my mama and my daddy, they don't got nothing in common, but they've been married for like 30, 40 plus years. So this gonna be us, y'all. Like I never paid too much attention to the fact that me and him, we didn't really have much in common, but I just loved him. Like from high school, I loved him. I had a crush on him, and then he courted me very well. Like he really knew how to treat a lady. So fast forward, me and this man, we dated for like, I think we dating for like 2 years, and at this point, within 2 years of our relationship, he is still applying the pressure. Like I said, I was in college at this time, y'all. So anything that I needed or I needed help with, he would pay for it. He would always come back and see me like every other weekend. He would come back and see me, and it was crazy because the last guy, if y'all not new here, y'all know my Miami ninja experience. I dated a ninja from Miami, and when I dated him, he was just like, y'all, like he was doing the bare minimum. Like me and this man had lived like 10 minutes from each other, and he would complain about like pulling up on me and coming to see me. And then my new man, Santa, he lived 4 hours from me, and y'all, he would literally drive and come see me every month. Like I was in a long distance relationship, but I was seeing my man more than women that lived in the same city as me were seeing their man. Like he was just, you know, applying that pressure. We would see each other all the time. Fast forward, because this story time is about like the dramatic breakup that I planned. So boom, fast forward, the pandemic hit, and at this time I had a job offer. I graduated in 2019 December. I think December the 15th, y'all. That was my graduation date, and I ended up getting a job offer right when I graduated. It was literally like a week before I graduated. I got a job offer, and it was in Orlando, Florida, and Santa lived in Orlando, Florida. So y'all, this was perfect. I'm like, all right, we've been dating for 2 years now, and he been, you know, compromising, coming back and forth to come see me, and we would have like regular arguments like any other relationship, but it was just giving my man. So I already knew as soon as I graduated, like I was planning on moving to Orlando to be with this man. So fast forward, I ended up graduating, and then shortly after I graduated, y'all, the pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, everything for everybody was going downhill. So the job that I ended up securing was supposed to be my first big girl job, you know, fresh out of college job. They ended up calling me, and they was just like, unfortunately, like, we don't know if we're gonna need you for this role. We're cutting our budget due to the unknown, like due to the whole pandemic. Like everybody was losing their job, y'all. So they ended up reneging my contract. They took my job for me. But like I said, at this time I was dating Santa, so I really wasn't worried, y'all. Like I didn't really have much bills at this time, and due to the pandemic, they were letting people out of their lease at this time, so they end up letting me out of my lease. So I'm done. I still moved to Orlando, Florida. Santa, he passed me up, and I moved to Orlando, Florida. And this is where things started. Oh, why is my lighting messing up, y'all? The sun is starting to set, so I'm gonna pull y'all back. Hold on. I don't know what's, hopefully y'all can see me over here, but my lighting is really just, hopefully y'all can see me, but my lighting is throwing me off. But anyway, y'all, I'm in Orlando now, and y'all already know what they say. Like at this point, me and Santa, we are co-workers because I have a remote job. I still have my I still have my college remote job, and at this time, y'all, this job was not really paying me anything. And I also had started YouTube at this time because I just had so much extra time on my hand. And when I first started YouTube, y'all, if you are OG, comment OG if you were OG. At this time, I used to always like post like hair reviews, and I really didn't take YouTube serious at this time. Like I didn't really post consistently on YouTube, but this was around the time when my YouTube started to pick up. It was like around the pandemic, y'all. So me and Santa, we living together and we're co-workers at this time. And because we're always in the house together, y'all, we would just be butting heads. Y'all know the tweets and the things. Like if your relationship made it past the pandemic, girl, put a star in the comment section. Like no one's relationship made it past the pandemic. Like we were just, when I say butting heads, arguing, butting heads, fighting about the littlest things, y'all. We were just arguing about everything. And at this point, I feel like he just really started to be like, do I really want to be with this girl? Because all we do is argue every day. Like we would literally start to count the days when we did not argue, because that's how much we argued, y'all. Like literally, I had a little calendar on my phone, and it'll be like, wow, y'all, 3 days. Like, can we celebrate? It'll be 3 days without us arguing. And then also, y'all, around this time, I want to say me and him, we were traveling a lot. Like when I met him, I had just went on my first little international trip, which was one of my biggest story times that I did when I told y'all I fell out with my friend 3 years after that vacation. If you haven't seen that video, check that out. But around this time, we had went to Puerto Rico, and then shortly after that Puerto Rico trip, that's when I started like traveling out the country a lot. And a lot of times when I did travel out the country, like I said, Santa was a provider boyfriend. So he would pay for like majority of our outings, and he would just pay for majority of everything. And like I said, if I'm gonna be in a relationship with anybody, that's just one of my requirements when it comes to like finances. I look for a provider. Like when people say what's on your list, like it's not just a provider, but that's in top 5 on one of the things that I had on my list. But like I said, although he was crossing out a lot of things on my checklist, y'all, he also lacked a lot of things when we were like arguing. Like he didn't have like the best communication skills. So fast forward, around this time, the first time I noticed when like, yeah, like this relationship is probably not gonna work, and I'm gonna have to start planning like my breakup and my escape, is when one time I remember we got in this argument. And I don't even remember what the argument was about, y'all. I truly don't remember. But we got in a really bad argument. And when we got in this argument, he was giving me the silent treatment. And if you know me, I be over stuff like mad quick. Like I can cuss you out, and then in the next 5 minutes, I'm asking you, do you want something for the stove? Because I don't, y'all, I'm just holding grudges. That's not me. I don't hold grudges. And the fact that you know what they say, if you don't know how to communicate, like the relationship is just not gonna work. So he didn't know how to communicate. So I'm like, all right, this relationship probably not gonna go nowhere because you don't know how to talk. So the pandemic was just already just shining the light on issues and flaws that we both had in our relationship. Now I'm in Orlando for 4 months, and I remember we got into this really bad argument, and I do not remember what the argument was over. All I know, it was my cousin's baby shower coming up, and I was on my way to the airport, and he was supposed to be taking me to the airport, y'all, but because we got in this really bad argument, he said he wasn't dropping me off to the airport. And it was one of those arguments where you can't focus on anything. Like I almost missed my flight because of this argument, and I wish I can remember what the argument was about, because I don't know what it was about, y'all, but we just gonna say I was right. So I'm right and he wrong, and I'm losing the argument though. Like we getting in an argument or whatever. So he's telling me like, no, I'm not gonna take you to the airport. And I'm like, you really not gonna take me to the airport? Like, why you not gonna take me to my airport? Like, really? Like, because we get in an argument about this, now you don't want to take me to the airport? So we get in this big argument or whatever. I ended up calling my Uber. I almost missed my flight to the airport. I remember just being in the airport, and I'm literally in my Uber crying, and my Uber driver, he keeps looking at me in the rearview mirror like, do we need to pull over? Like, are you okay? Because when I said I was crying, y'all, I was hysterically crying in the airport about this argument because I was just so mad about the situation. So fast forward, while I'm out of town, you know, usually if you out of town, your man's supposed to call you, check up on you, you know, like, you know, care for you, you know. So the whole time while I was in Atlanta, Santa didn't call me, he didn't text me, he didn't do anything. So I'm just like, damn, like, is it really his communication? Like, is his communication really that poor? Or do you just not care about me? Like, I could have not made it back to Orlando. I could have got, my flight could have crashed, and you didn't even call to check up on me. So I'm feeling like super salty after this whole situation. I enjoy my weekend in Atlanta. I come back home, and I remember when I came back home, everything was good. Like, he completely just act like nothing ever happened. Like, we didn't have a discussion about the argument. Like, he just act normal, y'all. Like, I think he probably picked me up from the airport and everything. Like, everything was just Gucci. Sorry, y'all, my camera died, but where was I? Okay, so I had got back from Atlanta, and he actually picked me up from Atlanta, y'all, and he acted like nothing had ever happened. Like, he didn't bring up the argument. He didn't say sorry. Like, there was no apology. Like, we didn't even have a discussion about this humongous argument that we had. And when I say it was huge, it was a huge argument. Like, he didn't speak to me for like 3 days when I was in Atlanta. So when we got back home, like, he acted like nothing ever happened. And then around this time, I also want to mention, y'all, I was getting hella sponsorships, and for some reason my PayPal was broke. Like, anytime companies would try to send me funds, or if a family member tried to send me money on PayPal, it would always take like 30 plus days for me to get my money. So I remember one day I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I just use your PayPal? Because anytime I get any money, it take them like 30-40 days. Like, they acted like I'm getting thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, to the point where they have to investigate my account. Like, my PayPal account was locked down and broke for like 60 days, and I had hella money on my PayPal and I couldn't get to it. So I'm asking him like, hey, can I use your PayPal? And again, if anyone of y'all asks like, oh, why did you just make a new PayPal? It was because anytime you make a new PayPal, y'all, and you start getting money on PayPal, they hold your money because it's a new account. And your girl had, I had places to go and people to see. So I didn't want them to hold my PayPal down. So I started using my man's PayPal. So I'm using his PayPal, and I probably would get like a sponsorship off the internet for maybe once every 2 to 3 months. I would get a little sponsorship. And I remember one day, I got a sponsorship, and he hit me with the like, it was one day, like, y'all, it was literally, it threw me off guard. We're literally watching TV, and he looks at me and he's like, Asia, you made more money than me this month, right? You made more money than me this month. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you made more money than me this month. And I'm puzzled as hell, because I'm trying to figure out like, how you, like, did you check into my account? Like, how, like, what's really good? Like, how you know that I made more money than you this month, y'all? So it had hit me. It took me like 2 minutes to figure it out. And I'm like, what, nigga? Like, you added up my PayPals. He added up my PayPal amounts that month, y'all, and he calculated it, and then he told me that I made more money than him that month. And then after that day, I was just like, in the moment, y'all, in hindsight, that was the first time when I noticed, like, all right, you acting funny. Like, you moving different and you acting funny. So I didn't say nothing about it. Like, I'm just like, what? That's weird. Like, why you added up my stuff? But I didn't like make a big deal about it, y'all. I peeped it, and I'm just like, all right, cool, we good. So fast forward, again, I'm still getting like, accolades on YouTube. I'm getting sponsorships. I'm working with different companies, and I'm working with different brands. And at this time, this was like new to me. Like, I know everybody want to hop on the internet and act like they so rich and this is a new thing.
But what I was trying to say is, I will never be able to fathom the fact that people are getting paid to do like nothing, or like to do what they were already going to do. Like, Colgate are sponsoring people to brush their teeth. It's like they were already going to brush their teeth, but you're paying them to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I would never be able to fathom that. So that's what I was trying to say at this point in the video.
This was super dope and new to me. So I remember, like, I'm like hella geeked up. Like, I remember one month I had like 6 sponsorships in 1 month. So like, I'm geeked. I'm happy about it. And he will always, like, as soon as I started making like money online, y'all, he will always try to encourage me. He would be like, oh, like, quit your job, like, you don't need it. And at this time, he knew I didn't have any like real bills or anything, y'all, because he was my man. Like, he knew that I didn't have crazy bills. But at the same time, y'all, I love my independency. Like, I'm not quitting my job, because, which is so crazy. At the end of this story time, I'm gonna tell y'all how I used to think. But I would always be like, oh my gosh, no, like, I would never quit my job just because I'm making money online. Like, I would never ever quit my job. I would always tell him, I'm like, no, that's crazy. I would never quit my job. Like, what? But he would encourage it. Like, during 2020, people was losing their jobs. So I'm like, for me to have a job and all these people losing their job, like, what? Quit? I would never do that. I don't care if they was paying me a penny on a dollar. Like, I'm not quitting my job. But he would always encourage me during this time. And I'm just like, no, I'm not quitting my job. So fast forward I remember again, y'all, we got in this huge argument. And this time, I'm not gonna lie, I was wrong in the argument. But like I said, I don't do grudges. Like, if you gonna be with me, then we gonna talk about it, hash it out, and we gonna keep it moving, y'all. But he didn't want to do that. Like, we got in this big argument. I gave him like a day to like breathe, heal, talk about it with God, and then on day 2, like, we should be back good. Like, we should be able to discuss or, you know, talk about it. But I remember this day, we couldn't discuss, we couldn't talk about it. Like, I was trying to talk to him, and he was literally giving me the cold treatment. Like, y'all, when I say this man didn't speak to me for like, he didn't speak to me for a whole week. And on the first day, I'm just like, all right, let me just give him his space. The second day, you're not speaking to me. I'm like, all right, maybe he needs some more space. The third day, I'm like, how much space do you need? Like, do you need me to move out the house? Like, how much space do you need, y'all? Because I would literally cook dinner. I would make 2 plates. He wouldn't eat. The food would go get cold. Or he would walk in the house at McDonald's, so I would get hot. The 4th day, I remember I would go, and if I went to the store to get, like, I don't know, a tea or a coffee or something, you know, I'm gonna call my man and be like, hey babe, do you want something? And he wouldn't even answer the phone, y'all. Or if he didn't answer the phone, he'll be like, no, I'm good. Like, he was just jocking me. He was like mad about the argument or whatever. So during this time, like I said, I'm so dramatic, and we were arguing a lot during this time. I'm not gonna hold you, we were arguing a lot. I remember, which thinking back, it's just like, Asia, why did you do this? Why are you like this? So every single day while I'm in the house, he's giving this cold treatment. Mind you, y'all, it's just 6 days. It's literally 6 days of this man like giving me the cold treatment, not talking to me. On the 5th day, I decided that I was moving out, because I'm just like, you're not gonna not talk to me. So you know what? I'm moving out. Like, your communication sucks. I'm moving out. I don't need this, y'all. So I called my dad, and I'm like, hey, I'm moving out. And he's just like, you moving out? Like, you and Santa broke up? And I'm like, no, we didn't break up, but we about to, because I'm moving out. And my mom is in the background. She's just like, what? And I'm just like, he ain't talked to me. This man ain't talked to me in 6 days. So I'm moving out. Like, I'm done. I'm moving out. So my parents, they're like so concerned, y'all. They're like, Asia, are you okay? Like, we're not moving you out. You're not moving out. Like, you're not moving out. You're not moving. I'm like, I'm moving out. I'm already, mind you, I don't even know how to drive a U-Haul, y'all. I'm like, all right, I already put in an order on U-Haul.com. I got my U-Haul schedule. Like, I'm done. I'm moving out. So my parents are like, Asia, you need to give it more time. You don't need to move out. And I'm just like, no, I thought about it, and I'm moving. So y'all, they hit me with the, all right, at the end, I support whatever you want to do. We can move you out, but it's not gonna be now. And I'm just like, no, I need to move out this month. Like, I need to move out now, because y'all, I was being so dramatic. I didn't want to move out while he was in the house. Like, I didn't want him to like see me moving out. I knew that he was going out of town that weekend to be with family, and he was bringing his fams back to the crib. So I was like, it's no reason for me to meet any extra fam, be around your fam. Like, I'm already decided that I'm moving out. Like, I'm done. So my parents are like, all right, if you want to move out, that's fine, but I'm gonna only tell you this: if you move back, we not helping you move back. If y'all get back together, I'm not helping you move back. I'm like, no, mommy, we not getting back together. We ain't ever getting back together. Like, I'm done. Like, I already thought about, like, y'all, I was really convinced like we were never getting back together. I'm like, we not getting back together. Like, I'm moving out. So again, y'all, I knew he was going out of town that week, and like I said, this was still within that week of him giving me the silent treatment. The only thing he did tell me, he was just like, all right, I'll be back on this day, and my peoples are coming, so you can sleep with my mom. And when he said that, I'm thinking like, no, it's okay, baby, your mama gonna have her own bed, because I won't be here. But I didn't tell him this. I had already planned like this big extravagant, me moving out, not even knowing how to drive a U-Haul, y'all. So I tell my parents to come up there to get me or whatever, y'all. And before he leaves, I'm sitting on the couch, and everything's all calm, y'all. Like, I'm literally sitting on the couch. I'm keeping it real cute. I'm keeping it real calm. And then, like, soon as I hear the door shut and he locks the door, I hop up and I start packing my stuff. I'm like packing my stuff crazy. And the crazy thing was, y'all, it was like a Friday, and he was coming back on a Sunday. So I'm packing my stuff all crazy. I pack all of my stuff. I clean the house really, really good. I go, and I couldn't pack certain things I didn't want to pack because he bought me the stuff, y'all. I'm throwing away. I'm being like hella dramatic. I'm throwing away everything, cleaning the house. I'm cleaning, and I'm loading up the, did I get to U-Haul yet? no, I didn't get the U-Haul because, like I said, y'all, I didn't know how to drive the U-Haul. So I'm doing all of this or whatever. My dad comes early that morning, and when he comes, I'm just like over it, y'all. When I say I clean, like when I say I cleaned the house, you would have thought he had just moved into the apartment. How will I clean the house? Because I wanted it to be like, dang, like she ain't here no more. Like, yeah, her presence is gone. It's gone. So my parents came the next morning, and they're like, Asia, are we really doing this? And I'm just like, yeah, because who do you think I am? Like, who does he think I am? Like, you not talking to me? All right, I'm Casper. I won't be here when you get back. So I packed the whole house up, y'all. My parents helped me move everything, and shout out to my parents for just going along with my craziness, my dramaticness. So we packing up the U-Haul, y'all, packing everything up, putting everything away, and right before we leave, like I'm about to like lock the door, I put my I kept my key, y'all. I kept my key for some reason. I literally locked the door, and we didn't have a mat underneath the rug. That's the only reason why I kept the key. I didn't want to just leave the door unlocked. Like I said, he wasn't coming back until the next day. So pack everything up, and before right when I locked the door, my mom looks at me and she's like, Asia, I'm not moving you back here. Like, I'm not moving you back here, because you know my mother's older than me, so she's wiser than me, so she already knew what this was. But y'all, I was so convinced that I was not going back. I'm just like, what? No, I'm not going back. And mind you, y'all, I had a remote job at this time, and it was a desktop. I even moved my remote job. Like, I took all my equipment out. Like, I notified my job that I was relocating to another city. Like, it was so dramatic, y'all. So bam, I'm back at my mom's crib. So I'm planning this escape. I'm like, all right, this is back in 2020, y'all. I'm like, all right, I'm moving to Houston. Like, I'm moving to Houston. And like I said, at this time, I didn't have anything seriously planned out. I just knew that I wanted to move, but I didn't know where I wanted to move at or anything. I just like, I'm moving. Like, I'm just moving, y'all. So I come up with this plan, and I'm like, I'm moving to Texas on this day, which is crazy, y'all, because I end up moving to Texas on that day. But at this time, I didn't have anything planned out. I didn't have any money saved up for this move. Like, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any plans, like any real life plans to move, other than me just saying with my tongue, like, I'm moving. So I'm saying I'm moving or whatever. Immediately, you know, Sunday hits. Santa's back in town. His family is there or whatever. Of course, the house is clean. Like, my presence is gone. So immediately, my mom's Facebook starts like blowing up. Like, he's messaging my mom on Facebook, and I had already had that in check because I knew that he was gonna contact my mom, because I had already blocked him on everything. I had literally blocked him on everything. So the man Santa, he starts emailing me. So he's emailing me, like asking me like where I'm at, am I in a hotel, do I need money, like do I need anything? Because like I said, at this time, he kind of thought like I didn't really have my shit together, y'all. I'm just gonna say what it is. He thought like I didn't have anything planned out, so he's scared. He's just like, do you need money? Do you need money for a hotel? Like, where are you staying at? I can come get you. Like, do you need to eat? Like, have you ate? Like, he's asking me and my emails all of these questions. He's talking to my mom, asking my mom like all of these mad wild like questions or whatever. And I'm telling my mom, I'm like, Mama, I'm not gonna fold, so you can't fold. Like, do not message him. She's like, oh, well, he just wants to know about you. I'm like, no, don't tell him about my wearing being, because when I was in the house, he ain't care about my wear being. Like, don't ask him about my wear being. So I'm telling my mom, keep it together. Like, stand up, buckle your knees. Like, don't write him back. So I'm in the house with my mom, and I had my first week at working like remote at my parents' house. So I'm like working and everything, y'all, everything is good. And I want to say fast forward to like a few days, literally like 3 days of me being at my people's house. He pulls up to my people's house, y'all. The man pulls up to my people's house asking like, am I here? Of course, I had already told everybody like, I'm not here. Like, no one knows that my family knew, of course, but I'm like, tell him I'm not here. So everyone tells him that I'm not there. Mind you, my people's house is like, I want to say, I don't know, maybe like 100 and something miles away. Like, it's an hour and 30 minutes away, y'all. So he goes or whatever, and fast forward like a week of me being like so strong, like, yeah, you ain't speak to me, like I'm done, like so strong. Like, he's keep hitting my mom up, calling my mom phone. Y'all know how Facebook is. If you call somebody's phone on Facebook and they have their notifications on, it'll come to your phone. So I blocked him off my mom's Facebook. He sends me this one email in particular, and I'm not gonna put it in here because it's a bit personal, y'all. But he sends me this email, and the email just really seemed genuine. Like, it really seemed like, all right, he really cared about my well-being. So y'all, I broke down, and I responded to the email. And in this email, I'm just telling him like, hey, I'm good. But I wouldn't tell him where I was at, y'all. I just told him like, hey, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I don't need anything. So in this email, he started, so you know how you let a nigga get back in good just a little bit, you know how it is, y'all. So I let him speak just a little bit, responded to one thing, and then it went from there. So now we conversing through email, and while we're conversing through email, like, he just seems so hurt about me leaving. He's basically telling me like the fact that I left, he doesn't feel like the apartment is a home anymore. Like, he misses my presence. Like, I need to be there. He hasn't ate in days. He hasn't slept in days. He hasn't done anything in days because little Miss Asia is gone. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know. And then he tells me that I left something, y'all. He tells me that I left something, and it was something with my job, like my work equipment. So anytime I honestly, thinking back, I probably could have bought this device from like Walmart or something when I returned my equipment to my job. But he tells me that I left something, and you know how that is when they be like, oh, you left something, come back and pick it up or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come back and pick it up, but it won't be on your terms, and it's not gonna be on anybody's terms. It's gonna be on my terms. And at this time, y'all, I was so convinced, like, oh my gosh, I'm moving on, like, I'm leaving this man. I was literally so convinced. I remember immediately, like, soon as I had moved out, you know, like I said, y'all, men, they know, like, when you freshly out of a relationship, they know, like, the easiest time to get with a man is freshly out of a relationship. I remember this one guy, literally like 2 days when he was giving me the silence treatment, this guy hit me. He's just like, Asia, can I take you out? And like I said, that was like day 3, day 4 of him giving me the silent treatment. Like, I was in a relationship at that time. So of course I told him, like, hey, I'm in a relationship. And then fast forward to the next week, like, I'm no longer together because I'm completely out of the house. Like, we not together. And I had told him that we weren't together. Obviously, after the week of me not being there, he had already known that we wasn't together, y'all. Mind you, by Friday, I'm at my people's house. It's only been 5 days since the initial move out on Saturday, y'all. So boom, I hit the guy up back in my DMs because he was like, are you in a relationship? And then I told him, yeah. And then, y'all, literally I doubled back and I'm like, you know what? I actually would take you up on that date. Like, I'm available this weekend or whatever. And he was like, I thought you just told me that you was in a relationship. And I'm like, I thought I was too, but I'm not. Like, I'm not. So I hit the guy back up or whatever. We planned to go out. He told me to pick my favorite restaurant. And I'm just like, all right, I'll pick my restaurant. I'll be ready at this point. And like I said, the guy that I was meeting up with, which is, I guess we can give him a name, y'all, because to this day, it's just like, I don't feel like I fumble. I feel like everything happens for a reason, because y'all quick to be like, when y'all hear a man is a doctor or a man that has money or of a certain caliber, y'all quick to think somebody is fumbling because y'all don't ever think past money, and it's deeper than that. So I'm texting this guy in the DM, and I'm telling him, like, all right, our brunch is gonna have to be like a late brunch, because like I said, y'all, I had to drive from my hometown back to Orlando, which was over 100 miles, and it was gonna be like a breakfast date, y'all. My favorite restaurant at this point, I can't even think of the name of the restaurant. What is it? I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's really, really good. It's this Spanish restaurant in Orlando. So I'm telling him, all right, that's my favorite restaurant. I'll be there at 12 because, you know, I gotta commute. And he didn't even know anything that just happened between me and Santa, that I had just broke up. Like, he didn't even know anything was going on. So boom, y'all. The next morning, I remember I woke up, y'all, I woke up at 6 a.m. and my parents are getting ready for work, and they come in my old bed. Well, it's not my old bedroom, it was the guest bedroom. They come in the guest bedroom and they're like, Asia, what are you doing? Like, why are you powdering up your face at 6 a.m. in the morning? And I'm like, I'm going on a date. Like, I'm going on a date. And they're like, a date? You and Santa back together? Because we just told you we wasn't moving you back. Like, I was like, what? Santa? Who is that? Like, I'm not going on a date with him. Like, I got ninjas on shelf. Like, I got niggas just in rotation on stock. So I'm going on a date with somebody else. And they're like, oh, who is this guy you going on a date with? And I'm like, oh, we both went to FAMU together. He's a doctor. Like, I'm telling my parents all about this guy or whatever. And they're not believing me. My mom was like, what? You was just with Santa? How you, like, how? And I'm just like, I got the raise like that. Like, don't worry how I did that, but that's how I'm doing that. Like, to this day, they probably really thought I was going on a date with my ex, and I was just telling them that it was another guy, y'all. But really, I was going on a date with another guy, y'all, because like I said, we was not together. Okay, y'all, the lighting is moving and it's throwing me off, but back to what I was saying. So I drive to Orlando for my date, and right before my date, I had to pass the restaurant. I had to pass my old apartment on the way there, and I had like a few, like 30-40 minutes. So I was just like, all right, let me just stop by the apartment and go get the item that I left, y'all. So I come to the door or whatever, and Santa's there. And as soon as I get in the house, he's looking so pitiful, y'all. He's just looking like so sad, like just pitiful. So I see him or whatever, and I'm just like, where's the peace? And y'all know this is a trap or whatever. So I'm like, where's the peace? And he was just like, dang, like you come dressed like this to come get a piece? Like it's 11 a.m. Like, why you so dressed up? And I'm like, oh, I'm going on a date. And he's like, you going on a date? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going on a date. And he's just like, Asia, don't play with me. Like, you're not going on a date. And I'm like, I am going on a date. And I like told him, like, because he sent me the reservation. Oh, the restaurant, y'all, I remember, it's called Santiago. So he sent me the reservation, screenshot of the reservation at the place. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Santiago or whatever. So he's really, really pissed or whatever. He's like trying to pull up my, I think, what did I have on, y'all? If I could find a picture, I'm gonna post it in this video, because I think I took a picture that day. I had my hair in a cute little ponytail. I had a headband on. I had some jeans that flowed at the end, and I had a nice little black tie up top. Your girl was looking, yo, I was looking good that day. So he sees me or whatever, and he can't believe, like, he's in shock that I'm saying that I'm going on a date. So I grab my equipment piece that I left, and I leave, y'all, and I go on my date. So I'm on this date or whatever, and like I said, I wasn't in the place to even be dating this guy at that point. But like I said, if you playing with me, you playing with me, and I'm moving on. I didn't really have the mental capacity to even give to this guy at this moment. But like I said, I'm like, all right, me and Santa is not together anymore. Like, I've completely moved out. Like, I'm about to get over him. And then at this time, Santa always had this thing about me, like, needing him. Like, I don't know, he just didn't see, well, I know, y'all, at that time when I was in a relationship with him, I was very codependent on him. Not dependent, I was like codependent on him, if you know what I mean. And so the fact that I had moved out and did everything, and I was like, didn't ask him for any help to get out, he was shook. Like, he was like, what? She was able to do that? Like, y'all, he was in awe. So I'm at this restaurant with this man, and me and the man is just chopping it up, and everything is going cool or whatever. And we had a nice little date or whatever. After that date, I end up heading back to my old apartment, and I didn't want to just go completely home, y'all. I'm like, all right, I'm in Orlando, so I might as well go by the apartment. Anything else that I left, pick it up, take a nap. And I know y'all thinking like, Asia, stop playing, you ain't leaving nothing else there, y'all. But I literally planned my move in like one day, y'all. So I had left a plethora of things. So I go back to the apartment. When I get back, Santa is not there, y'all. I'm in there, and I literally take a nap, and I end up going shopping, and then I leave out and I go back to my hometown. So when I'm back home, every single day while I'm home, y'all, Santa is like blowing me up, emailing me. At this point, I did unblock him. So now we're conversing through text messages. He's checking on me, asking me if I ate. Like, everything I wanted him to do when I was in the house with him, he's now doing it, y'all. So I'm like, all right, he's telling me, like, he came up with a whole plan, like, what I'm gonna do to better our relationship, what I'm gonna do to do this and do this and do, y'all, giving me the whole nine. And your girl is eating it up. But like I said, I had so much pride at this point. I'm like, my parents already said they're not moving me back, and I'm not about to just move out to move back in. Like, I'm not doing it, y'all. So me and Santa, he asked me, he's like, oh, basically he's asking me, like, can we go back out? Can we be together? Like, you know, trying to raise your girl up again, telling me, like, can we get back together? but I'm really standing on business because it's just like I'm not about to just move back out and then move back in. And at this point, y'all, it was really just my pride because we were technically going to be back together, but I was really so stuck on like proving to him, showing him like this is how you're gonna treat me. This is how you're gonna treat me. So I'm not about to just flop back to your crib when everything is good or whatever. So at this time, of course, he's trying to pursue me to ask me back out. And I'm just like, no, you're going to have to really show me that you want to be with me. And we're going to start slow. Like, we're going to start back over, y'all. We're going to start back dating. So he's like, all right, if that's the game you want to play, we can play the long game. Like, we're going to start back dating. So that following weekend, because I had like work during the week, y'all. And like I said, I had a remote desktop job, so I couldn't just pick up and go when I wanted to. So I had to wait till the weekend for us to like do things. And at this point, we lived over an hour away from each other. So boom, that next weekend comes, he picks me up from my parents' house, and when he picks me up, he's telling me like, oh, I have this surprise for you, like we're going to, this wasn't even my favorite restaurant at the time, y'all, but it was a restaurant that I want to try at the time. I think it was called Del Frisco. So he's like, we're going to Del Frisco. And y'all, this man planned the whole day out, and Santa was not a romantic type of guy. So the fact that he had planned this whole crazy day out, like it was them Pinterest dates where you see on movies where the guy have the clothes and the shirts and the shoes and the earrings and the purse and the heels on the bed. That's what type of date it was, but it was even better than that. Like before the date, he took me shopping, y'all. He took me to buy the dress. I'm gonna post a picture because I took a picture this night of the date. So he took me to buy a dress, he took me to buy a wig, y'all, he took me to buy the shoes, he took me to buy the earrings, like he took me to buy all of the items or whatever. And then right after that, we went to Del Frisco, and I took this picture in front of their wine bar or whatever. So we had this night, and during our date, this man is just, profoundly telling me how much he loved me and how much he's gonna change and his communication is gonna work. And your girl is just eating it up. But like I said, I had too much pride. Like I was not gonna move back home back in with him because you have to show me. So this happened when I initially moved out in like October, y'all. And like I said, I'm still planning on going to Houston. I'm still planning on like moving all of my things that I had set for myself. I said I'm still planning this, but at the same time, I'm still dating him. So every other weekend, he was taking me on these dates throughout a span of like 2 months. And I remember right when we were about to go back into the New Year's, we dated and we basically started over for like 2 months. So I'm like, all right, he's been dating me this whole 2 months. He's been showing me that he wants to get back right with me. He wants to be back with me. He's showing me like his communication is gonna be better. So your girl moved back in. And again, my parents were just like, Asia, I told you so. I knew you was moving back in. Like you not built like that. Like I knew you was moving back in, but we not moving you back in. We not taking our work. We not using our weekend to help you move back in. So Santa orders a U-Haul, y'all, and he helps me move all of my items back into this apartment. And this is another lesson. Around this time, I learned that when you actively going through something, don't tell people your business. Do not tell people your business, because at this time, y'all, I had to like make up so many lies, because just in case, y'all, if you were ever a girl that dated a guy and you went back with him, you know exactly what I'm saying. Like, you really got to keep it on the shh. I remember it was so dramatic because at this time, my friends, I think my one friend, I think I didn't even tell my best friend until like months after we had broke up. She was like, Asia, like, why are you back in the city? And I'm like, oh, I'm back in the city because I needed to help my mother with my grandfather because he's sick, which my grandfather, he does have cancer, y'all. But I remember telling her like, oh, I needed to help him and, administrate his medication. So I was moving back in. So we're doing this long distance relationship, right? And I remember telling them all of these lies, y'all, because I was so embarrassed. Like, are you not embarrassed? How embarrassing it would have been for your friends to know that you moved back, that you do that. Girl, that's embarrassing, y'all. So I had to make up all these lies. But of course my parents knew that I was like moving back with him. But like I said, he courted me for like 2 months, and then I'm back in the city. So y'all, all of this courting, he gonna work on it, these expensive and extravagant dates. That's why I be telling y'all, when y'all be in the comments and y'all be arguing, y'all know the controversial topic about, oh, if a man takes you to what is it called, what's the restaurant called, the Cheesecake Factory, or ice cream, or a coffee date, those are not appropriate dates, so that means that he does not value you. And it's just like, that does not mean a man does not value you. A man can take you on a most extravagant, expensive date and still not value you, and then a man can take you on a coffee date but love the hell out of you. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't equate to how much a person cherishes you and values you. But anywho, y'all, as soon as the man got me back in the city, why he reverted back to his old ways. Like, he completely reverted back to bad communication, holding grudges, like everything converted. Like, he courted me for the 2 months just to revert back. It was like, yeet. Like, y'all, he literally said, yeet, and then reversed everything back. So I'm like, I be damn. Like, you did all of this to get me back right here to reverse it. Like, so I'm back here, and granted, y'all, I could have went back to my parents' place, but it's just a lot of back and forth, and I ain't want too many people in my business at that time, because when you in love, you be making decisions from your heart and not from here, girl. So I was just like, it's a lot of back and forth going on, so I'm gonna sit still and strategize, y'all. So I'm planning this breakup or whatever. I'm literally we're living together now. Things are back the way they were before. Like, we're arguing, the communication is trash. Now we have completely slowed down. Like, we're not going on any dates anymore. We're still going out the country here and there, like we're going on trips or whatever, but when we're on trips, like, we keep butting heads, we keep arguing. Like, y'all, it's a disaster. So I remember one day, this is like 6 months of me living back in Orlando with Santa, and I'm like, Santa, I'm moving. And he's like, where are you moving to? And I'm like, I'm moving to Houston. And he's like, you moving to Houston? Like, what you moving to Houston for? You not moving to Houston? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm moving. And he's like, when you moving? And I'm just like I said, y'all, I had a date, but nothing was indefinite. Like, I didn't have any real plans, because like I said, I just didn't know when, I didn't know how. I had family members that have moved out of state before, y'all, but it was a lot. Like, I didn't really know. I'm just my man at the time, so I'm just expressing to him like, hey, I'm moving. So I'm just like, I'm moving. And then he was like, you're not moving, you're not going nowhere. Like, you don't have no money, you don't got your stuff together. Like, where are you going? Who you leaving? Like, where are you going? Like, you've never even been out the country without me. Like, what? Like, you're not going nowhere. Because he would always like boost and say like, I put you onto this lifestyle, I put you onto this, I put you onto that. That's another thing, y'all. It's okay. It's really good to have a man that provides for you, but it's even better to have a man that provides for you and they don't throw that ish back in your face. That's another thing Santa would do all through our relationship. He would do everything and a lot of things for me, but he would also boast about it after the fact. So this is what he's doing in the moment. He's just telling me like, girl, you're not going nowhere. You don't got your stuff together. Like, you're not doing nothing. Like, you're not going nowhere. So that day when I was expressing to him like I wanted to leave or whatever, I'm just expressing him like my plans and what I want to do for the future. I'm not telling him like, hey, come with me, because I'm already an independent girl. Like, if you gonna come, then you gonna come. If you don't want to come, then you're not gonna come. I'm not gonna force you to move halfway across the country with me. So we're discussing this, y'all, and he just completely like threw me down. Like, your girl was just, I was hurt after that conversation. I'm just like, damn, like, I can't do this. Like, I'm thinking he's gonna like motivate me and tell me like, all right, I got you, it's gonna work out. But y'all, this man completely was just like, you're not going nowhere. You can't do it without me. Like, you're not doing it. So I am hurt or whatever. And he even told me, he was like, if you ever bring that conversation up again, like, you should just leave. Like, you should have just never even told me that you was planning on leaving. Like, you should have just got up and left. Now it's like awkward. Like, since you leaving, we definitely not gonna be in a long distance relationship. So you might as well. So he was like saying that he might as well like separate himself from me, basically like move out of the space and like complicate everything. And I'm just like, if you want to like sleep at other people's house or move out, that's your prerogative. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm just telling you that these are my plans for the future and it's heavy on my heart. So he basically is trying to act weird about it, the whole situation, y'all. So I'm like, all right, cool. You want to act weird about it. I'm going to continue to work until we get to where we at. So y'all, at this time, he tells me like not to mention it. He tells me that I was better off just up and leaving. Like, I should have just up and left. Like, don't even mention it to him. So that happens or whatever, and I'm still living at the house with him. Like, we're still together, and like I said, during this time, we're still in a relationship. We're still dating, but like I said, it was just very chaotic. Like I said, we was co-workers. Like, my desk was right here, his desk was right here. The only thing that separated us was a wall, because during this time, this was back in like 2020, 2021. So at this time, I'm planning, like the whole time I'm planning my strategy to leave. And like I said, y'all, I could have left at any time because I had my own moolah and I had my parents, but I wanted to do it strategically, y'all. So I'm planning my whole move the whole entire time. And at this point, I still had a date when I wanted to move out, y'all. I found a few apartments. I'm looking up like different car insurance, moving companies. I'm like doing research on all of this, and I'm literally doing all of this behind his back because he's telling me, like, if you move in, don't even mention it to me. Like, don't say anything to me, y'all. After this point, all the dates, like everything had slowed down. So I was just like, all right, I'm definitely like, this is definitely not gonna work, because like I said, I'm a woman. When you date me, you have to continue to date me. Like, I don't care if we've been dating for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You have to continue to date me. Once you stop dating me, I'm out. Like, once you get me, because you know, a lot of times men, they will do what they need to do to get you, and then once they get you, they'll just completely do a complete 360. And like I said, at this point, this was our 3rd year in our relationship. We were going on 3 years, so it wasn't one of those situations where like he was putting on a mask and he was one way, and then like once he got me comfortable, he completely changed up. This was like a slow and gradual change, and I feel like the more I leveled up, y'all, the more distaste he had with me. Like, I was just like, I don't know, y'all, he was just like disgusted with me. Like, it wasn't gonna work, y'all. So at this time, like I said, the dates had slowed down. We're still like hella arguing a lot, and my friends are knowing that I'm moving. Like, I had got approved for an apartment, so that's the day that it was like official. Like, I'm approved for an apartment. I didn't have a job yet, y'all, but I was literally grinding and like saving up so much money. So I'm like, I'm gonna be good, like, regardless about it. And then I remember at this time, like, nonetheless, during this time, we were still friends. Although, like, romantically, we weren't on the same page, but we were still friends, y'all. Like, you can't be with nobody for 3 years and not be friends with them. So we cool or whatever. And I remember one day, I just came to him as a friend, because when I say I was ecstatic because I had reached like a really big financial goal, y'all. And I remember coming to him and I was like, oh my gosh, like, look. Like, I had never seen this many zeros in my account before. So your girl was like happy. And I wasn't saying it in a way like, oh my gosh, like, I'm that girl. Like, y'all, it wasn't even like that, because that's not me. It was in a way, it's just like, I ran this up in 3 months. Like, I did this in 3 months. Like, it was like a financial goal that I had reached, y'all. And you know how you feel when you reach any type of goal, a financial goal, a fitness goal, a business goal. You just be feeling like you that girl. So that's how I was feeling. And in my excitement at that moment, I showed him, like, this is my boyfriend, my confidant. So I'm like, Santa, look, y'all, like, y'all, I'm lit. I'm turned the hell up. I'm running all around the house. I'm excited. I'm like, let's celebrate. But when I showed this man this financial goal that I had reached, he was like, what? You got more money than me. Like, it was like, first he was like very hot about it. Like, what? Like, he was not happy. And then after I pointed out, I'm like, I wanted to go get a seafood boil. Like, let's celebrate. But you're not happy about this at all. And then after that, he was just like, oh no, congratulations. Like, I keep telling you, like, you should have quit your job. You should quit your job. And I'm just like, what? I'm not quitting my job or whatever. So that was the second. Well, that was like probably like the 4th or the 5th sign that I noticed. I'm just like, this really not gonna work, because you're not even happy for me and my glory. Like, why? Like, you're not happy for me. Like, that was another sign, y'all. But like I said, at this point, I was already planning my move. And when I had tried to talk to him about it before, he wasn't happy. Like, he didn't want me to talk about me moving and my plans or anything. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to plan this dramatic move. Like, this is going to be the most dramatic breakup. Like, we're going to be together. And then the day that I get ready to leave, because the date was already set in stone, y'all, it's just going to be peace out. Like, I'm leaving. And all of my friends, they were just like, no, Asia, he can hurt you. That could be a terrible idea. Like, don't do that to him because you don't know how he's going to take that. Like, that's just, it's a bit dramatic. Like, don't do it. So I'm telling all my friends, I'm like, I told you, I tried to come to him as a person and talk to him about my plans and what I want to do with my life. And he wasn't going for it. Like, he was just not with it, y'all. So my friends was like, well, I still think you should tell him. And I'm just like, no, I told you when I tried to tell him the first time, he was acting funny about it and he didn't support it. And I'm not going to continue to tell people what my aspirations are and you don't support it. So like I said, I'm still doing my thing, y'all, but it's becoming harder and harder to hide it because if you moving, you're going to be buying stuff and ordering stuff, y'all. And if I can find pictures, I might post it in this video. But literally, at this time, I was doing YouTube at this time, and he knew I was doing YouTube, y'all. So I was telling him that I was building a beauty room in our solarium. I'm telling him like, hey, I'm building a beauty room, so a lot of packages are gonna be coming to the house, y'all. And I'm telling him like, don't worry, these couches and these rugs, like these packages, this is for the beauty room or whatever. But really, y'all, it was for my new apartment in a whole nother state because your girl was moving. So I told him this, so he's not thinking anything of it. So every day packages would come, rugs would come, couches was coming, tables were coming, like all types of stuff was coming. And it was one day in particular where he almost was like, what, like, you bought a bed? Like, y'all, a mattress came to the house and I had to like, I don't remember how I fumbled the joke, like how I tricked him into thinking that it was not what it was. But I'm like, no, that's not a bed. Like, that's a fluffy rug. Like I twisted it up, y'all. But he almost caught me because I told him that it was something else, but he seen on the box that it was clearly a picture of a bed. But I hid that from him and I'm just like, no. So at this point, like I said, I'm still moving and we're still not doing good. Like we're arguing, we're like fighting or whatever. We probably would go on dates like here and there, but like the trips, they completely slow down. Like we're not going on any trips. We're not really communicating to the best of our ability. Like he would still do the little cold treatment, but it would never be to the extent as he did before. Cause like I told you, I moved out as soon as he was like, you know, disrespected me to a level that I just couldn't accept, y'all. So he never disrespected me again when it came to the communication to that level, but he still was just, you know, keeping everything like on the hush. Like he would still move funny if we got in a disagreement. Like he didn't know how to communicate. So boom, finally, y'all, it finally came down to the day where I was getting ready to move, and it was literally like 2 days to my moving day, and I'm in bed with him, and I remember we just kept on doing a little nasty, doing what grown people do. And I don't know why, but I just felt like telling him at that moment. And I'm just like, I'm moving. And I just said it out of nowhere, y'all. It was like the most randomest thing. And then he was just like, what? You're moving? Like, why are you moving? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I told you a year ago. Like, I told you a year ago that I wanted to move. Well, it was 6 months ago, but y'all, the initial plan that I had to move was when we like first broke up and I moved out of the house the first time. That's when I first told myself, like, I want to do this and I'm going to do this. So I'm telling him like, I'm moving, like this is what I want to do or whatever. And well, we in the bed and he's like, what? You playing? You're not moving. Say you swear to God. And I'm just like, I don't swear, but I'm moving. Like I'm moving. And then he's just like, you're lying. You're not moving. Like, where are you going? And he didn't believe me, y'all. Like the whole time he's just like, you lying. Like, how you moving? Who you moving with? Like, that's what he kept saying. Who you moving with? Like, how you moving? So I remember he hit me with the, what happened, y'all? He hit me with the, stop playing with me. Like, you're not going nowhere. And I pulled out my lease. Like, I had to literally pull out my lease that I have signed in order for him to believe that I was moving. He was like, wait, what? You're moving? And then he like gets up. He's sitting in the bed, y'all. And he's like, I don't know, like, he's just like in a maze. Like, he's just there. And he's just like, you moving? Like, he said it back to me, and I feel like it was him trying to process that I was actually freaking moving. So he's just like, wow, why didn't you tell me sooner? All this blah blah blah. And like I said, at that moment, y'all, I didn't know what to say or what to expect, because I knew him deep down in person. Like, I knew my person, but all of my friends and my family, they were just like, Asia, this is a terrible idea. Like, you should tell him sooner. Like, don't do that. You don't know how he could take it or whatever. So they had already scared me. So I'm like, I don't even know how he's gonna react. He should be kind of weak, because like I got said, we just got into doing what grown people do. So he should be kind of weak. He shouldn't be too strong, So I'm like, he just like, wow, like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, when I tried to express to you and tell you, you didn't want to listen, like, you didn't want to hear me. So y'all, it's kind of crazy because after that, like, there was no hard feelings. Like, we hugged it out or whatever, but it was really crazy because that's when he told me. 2 days after that, no, a day after that, my apartment complex hit me and they told me that my move-in date got pushed back. So we end up spending like the last like 2 weeks together, and it was like so bittersweet because it was like the best our relationship had ever been. Like, he was back to like, trying to communicate better, and we were like reminiscing our relationship, and we had laughed, like we had so much fun those last 2 weeks. And I even asked him, like, why you treating me like hella good? Like, why you being overtly nice? Like, why you doing all of this? And he was just like, well, you leaving for good. So like, I want our last memories to be us laughing and not us arguing and fighting. So we had this like amazing 2 weeks together, and we was just, we was together and we was just having a good time. And I remember when it came to the day that I was actually like flying out to Houston to like move here for good, y'all. I remember it was so dramatic. It kind of felt like a movie, y'all. It literally felt like a dramatic ass movie scene. Because I remember it was like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was going to catch my $45 flight to Houston. And, and I told him my Uber was outside, and he was like, you want me to walk you out? And I was like, you can. And like I said, as he was walking me out, he looked at me, and then he was like, are you ready? And y'all, I just like literally burst out crying. Like, I bust out crying. And it was crazy because when we went outside, y'all, it was like raining, and then the Uber car was like right there trying to get into the gate, and then like the headlights was like our spotlight, like the light was on us, and it's just raining, and I'm crying, and then like he kisses me, and then like it was goodbye. I'm like, wow, like I'm literally thinking, again, y'all, I'm so dramatic, so delulu. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like we're never gonna see each other again in person. So I'm just looking at him, and then we hug out, he kisses me, and he tells me like, good luck in Texas or whatever. And then I get in my Uber, and I just remember feeling like so anxious, so scared. I'm just like, I don't know what it was, y'all, but it was like I was having deja vu. Like, throughout all the months it played out, it felt like, y'all know what deja vu is. It basically felt like I had already experienced that experience 1,000 times before. So when it actually happened, I was just like so heartfelt, and I was just crying, and I was just on my way in my Uber ride. And it was kind of weird, y'all, because it kind of felt like so bittersweet. But that is the story time how I planned this dramatic ass breakup of like over a year. Like, it was so dramatic, y'all. I honestly don't take anything back about how I did it. And y'all probably won't even understand why I did it like that, because many of my friends, they was just like, Asia, like, why are you like this? Like, why are you doing this in this manner? And I couldn't even really put a finger on it, y'all. But that's like one of the most dramatic breakups that I went through, and I made it so much more dramatic. Like, looking back, it's like, girl, why you did all of that? But yeah, y'all, again, these are some takeaways that I want to take y'all away from this story time, because yeah, it's a story time, and usually my story times are all shits and giggles. But y'all, what I learned during this time when I was in that relationship is a lot of time as women, we fall for the best that we've ever had. Like, just because this person has treated us better than any other person that we have experienced in our past, we feel like, oh, this is the best we're gonna get. Like, this is the best that I ever had. And I had to learn in that relationship that it can get better. Like, even if a person is not adhering to all of your standards, a lot of time we settle. We're like, all right, this is the best I ever had. Because at one point in that relationship, I would be like, wow, like, I ain't never had no nigga take me out of the country, pay my bills, like, do all of these things for me. One, because I was young, like, they couldn't afford to. And two, I just never had that. And at that time, that was like the best that I ever had. And I would settle for that, because it's just like, let's be for real. Like, who's doing all of that for you? And then when I left that situation, God literally provided better. And then I'm saying this only because a lot of times when I see in my story times, I would see people comment, because I remember one time, I forgot what the story time was, but someone commented on my video, and then they was just like, Asia, who do you think you are for him to be doing this, that, and that? And I'm just like, You don't see me? Like, I'm that girl. What do you mean, who do I think I am? And y'all should feel the same way about y'all. Like, you should feel like that girl. Like, you shouldn't be like when a guy gives you something and you want more, you shouldn't feel like I should just settle for this because you think you can't get more. Like, believe it or not, some of y'all gonna be like, oh, you fumble. But no, because if I would have never done left that, I would have never be with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have to want better and stop settling for the best you ever had, because a lot of us, we do that, and I even did it too, so it's no judgment. But in order for you to want better, and in order for you to really get the man that crosses off every check mark on your list, you have to want better. You have to stand on your standards. You have to stand on it. But yeah, girly, that's pretty much what I learned. Well, that's not the only thing that I learned, but that's just something that I want to leave with y'all after this story time, is stop settling for the best you ever had, because if you do, you would never have better. Like, oh yeah, and Merry Christmas, because I think I'm gonna post this video on Christmas, or maybe I'll post this I don't know. I think I might post it today. So happy Christmas Eve to y'all. And yeah, have a Merry Christmas. And comment down below if y'all want a part 2 of the story time. Because me and Santa, we did end up seeing each other after this. And it basically just confirmed like why we weren't meant to be together. But like I said, again, y'all, I thought we was never going to see each other again because I'm just so dramatic. Like, I don't know. I'm just extra, y'all. My life is a movie, and I just be adding to the play, y'all. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.